Yeah, here we go. I am sitting here by the fire in the Catskills, and last night when I took a bath, I was guided to lead us into a ritual to celebrate new beginnings, to celebrate them, to create them, to acknowledge them, and to come back to the remembering of the powerful creator that you are. Anytime a new year is approaching, it feels like a massive new beginning. New moon feels like a new beginning, but then every new day, every new choice, every new awareness, every new place within you where you used to turn away and this time decide to shine the light and go a little deeper, that's all a new beginning. So even though I'm recording this as we wrap up 1 year and create this space to enter a new year, this really could be used anytime. So you can come back to this ritual whenever you want to create a new beginning, whether it's guided by the outside experience of nature or anything else like a new job or starting a school, starting a new project, or for no external reason and just from the calling from within to create a new slate, to step into a new timeline, and to create a new beginning anytime you're called to. In a moment, I will step away to make a cup of cacao, a really powerful, heart-opening, heart-expanding medicine that in my experience really connects me to joy of creation. I've been sitting with cacao for over 3 years now, and it's one of my favorite plant allies. There's different traditions and rituals of how people around the world have been sitting with cacao and honoring that medicine that is known as food of the gods. I have a whole video about cacao if you're curious to check that out. And I know that a lot of you on my channel are here because of that video. So thank you for trusting me to be one of the stewards of reminding us all of that medicine that is coming back and becoming so popular in the world at this time. I believe for a reason, because we're ready for this remembering of connectivity of us all, of this joy of co-creation, of gathering in circles, and remembering that sometimes it's not about peak experiences like some psychedelic medicines can provide, but sometimes it's about more gentle tapping into what's already there, what I find cacao does really beautifully. So if you have cacao at home, you already are into ceremonial cacao. In a moment, I'll invite you to go and make a cup as well, or maybe you already have one. And if not, you can use water or a cup of tea or any other beverage that feels cozy and that you would like to be this vessel that you will bless and through which you will receive that nourishment into your body, into your being, into your soul, and into your energetic body. If you're new to cacao and you're curious, where do I get ceremonial cacao? How do I make it? Definitely check out my previous video or blog post that I will link in the description. And if you're brand new and you're curious to experience the medicine of cacao without the cacao, that is possible too. When we invoke a spirit of a certain plant medicine or even nature element, I believe that it hears us and it answers the call, whether we actually have the physical representation of what it is or we're just invoking the energetic presence of it. So I'm going to go and make a cup of cacao now. I think I'm going to use the Tantric Rose Blossom Cacao with some coconut oil, a little bit of vanilla, and then a little bit of coconut sugar just blended with hot water. I'll see you back here in a few moments. And as soon as I came back and sat down, the sun came out. Thank you, sun. So if you're watching me on YouTube, you just watched me make my cup of cacao. It turned out very creamy and delicious. So the way that I do cacao ritual is not the one way or the only way or the right way to do it. Some of us are called to study ancient traditions, cultures that have been working with cacao, like the Mayans, which I've actually studied, and be the messengers and stewards of them. And some of us are meant to tune into our own remembering of not just our connection with nature, but the fact that we are nature through how we connect with plants. So I'm just going to freestyle a little blessing here, and you can follow along or create space for what's meant to come through you in this moment. And then we're going to dive into a little bit of a remembering and a ritual to come back into your heart, into the center of your being. So bring your cacao to your heart and taking a deep breath. And with that, let's raise our cup to the sky, giving thanks to the heart of the sky. Bringing cacao down below, giving thanks to the heart of the earth for composting anything that's ready to be transformed into new life. Bringing your cacao to your left, giving thanks to the heart of the water for the flow and fluidity in your life. Bringing it to your right, giving thanks to the heart of the fire, representing creativity and passion. Bringing it in front of you, giving thanks to everyone who made this cacao possible, who grew the beans, who roasted them, who passed down the tradition and the remembering of working with the sacred plant. And bringing it to your own heart, giving thanks to yourself for showing up, for trusting me to be your co-creator in this ritual, and for truly choosing to spend time in your heart, in the portal where all of the infinite possibilities are unlocked. Taking a deep breath where you are, sending energy into the bottoms of your feet, and another breath up into the top of your head, connecting to the sky. And one more in your heart, tying it all together, feeling the flow of energies up and down, holding you and guiding you at all times. All right, we're ready to drink. One last stage here, one last invitation is to tune into the way that you would like to be and show up. What qualities you would love to embody, what would you love to be a conductor for in this world. For me, I am inviting in remembering that I am nature, remembering that I'm not separate from it, and remembering that the more I drop into nature outside of me, the more I develop the capacity to drop into my own unique nature, trusting that when we all do that and drop into our unique nature, our unique medicine, unique gifts that we're here to bring into the world, the more we come into coherence and alignment as humanity, but also as each individual that comprises humanity. Delicious. What I invite you to do is to come back into your heart, where you remember that you are a powerful creator. You remember that everything in your life, externally and internally, is a representation of something that is there to help you evolve, and something that you chose, whether it was conscious or unconscious. To do that, we're first going to connect to different points in time or outside of time where you feel like you've given away your power and your authority. It could be society, the news, your Instagram grid, any time where you have decided to source validation and authority and truth from any external sources that are not your truth within you. Just imagining all of the little dots in the sacred geometry of who you are, where you gave away your knowing, you gave away your power, and imagine yourself shining the light on all of those places, knowing that it was all perfect. It was all perfectly and divinely orchestrated for your evolution. And now it's time to pull back all of these aspects of you, all these fractals of you, back into your heart. To choose to be an intentional, a conscious creator. To choose how you're going to walk into this new beginning with your shoulders back, with your heart forward, shining your light in the world. Trusting that the more you step into your truth, the more you express your truth, the more as humanity, as fractals of the same consciousness, we step into that coherence, that alignment with the nature that is outside of us and a reflection of what's already within us. I know that I'm someone who got into spiritual practices a long time ago, over a decade. And in the past couple of years, my life has really been dedicated to flow, to trusting that the divine plan is way better than anything my human brain could come up with, and to trusting being guided by source, being whispered what my next steps are, and trusting that it's not about hustling and working hard, but it's about truly tuning in and listening. And with that, I am realizing that that chapter is complete, and now I'm ready to integrate trusting the flow, being the wave, being the drop in the ocean, and at the same time, go back to my expression as a really powerful creator. I remember when I just got into this book, Creative Visualization by Shakti Gawain, and I was into this meditation training and yoga teacher training. I was truly applying all of the principles. I was writing down my manifestation lists, and if I go back and pull those notes, it will be a lot to celebrate, because every single area of my life I have called in all the different things that I wish to experience, from partnership to adventures and travels around the world, career and recognition and money. And I needed to go from all of that to deeply feminine flow of trusting that I don't need to always be so specific, but sometimes it's just about being and trusting the flow and being the flow. And so now I am being reminded, and perhaps you watching this, because it's time for you to remember as well, that being a creator means that you get to choose what you will express in the world, what this human vessel gets to be an expression of in the world. And the only place from which you can create that is from within. Sometimes external content, I know for me, I love watching YouTube videos of people that I resonate with, or sometimes don't, because all of those things, they remind me of my own truth and help me get clear on the vision that I'm creating. But sometimes I do that from an unconscious place, because I don't think that I know enough. I don't think that I am enough. I don't think I have something important enough to say. And those are the moments where I give my power away. And so the more I just trust myself to show up and know that when I share my truth, that is my highest contribution to the universe, the more I feel that divine flow, that divine movement, and that divine joy in my life. One of my favorite spiritual teachers, Ram Dass, tells this story of a man who was crossing a river on a boat. It was a very foggy morning, and he couldn't see anything. And at some point, his boat hit another boat. He gets up and he starts shouting at the other being in the boat, saying, "What are you doing? Are you not looking where you're going? You may have messed up my boat." And then he keeps looking around, and there is no other boat. And in that moment, he remembers that there is no other. It's only him. And so all external situations are given to us because it is our highest evolution that is available in that situation if we choose to go into it. A Course in Miracles speaks about it. A lot of other beautiful spiritual teachers speak about it. And it sometimes, to me, I know, feels selfish to think that way, that there's nothing but me and everything in the universe is a reflection of me. But the more I experience it, the more I experience the wholeness of my own being, the more I realize that the only way for us to evolve as humanity is for each individual to make that choice, to come back into your own heart, into this portal that is energetically located right in front of your heart, where anything is possible, where you know exactly what your truth is, and where you don't judge yourself based on societal standards or where you think you should be in your life, where you truly step into, how can I be a vessel for this life force that is within me? How will I consciously choose to practice being myself and practice my sovereignty? And when we do that, boundaries become less relevant. And there's situations in life for sure where boundaries are beautiful, as my friend Jasmine says. But what I've experienced is that the more we step into our truth and the more we remember that there's no external validation that is needed, there's nothing to explain or defend, no one to please, and the more we just shine our heart forward in the world, shoulders open, heart open, light shining from all directions, front and back, The entrance into your heart chakra is actually on your back, not the front. The more we become unmessable with, the less we magnetize experiences of misalignment. Thinking about holidays and family situations, a lot of you are probably going to be traveling to spend time with your family as you watch this video. And this is my invitation for you to remember that you're not crazy, that being around family brings a lot of things up, a lot of past timelines of your childhood before you stepped into this current version of you. A lot of us, we shut down our connection to magic and all the possibilities back when we were kids. In this moment, you can choose to go back into your childlike wonder, go back into all possibilities, go back into play, and have fun with it. What if every single day, every morning you wake up and it's a game of listening to the guidance, tapping into nature around you, noticing beauty around you, whether that's a tree or a flower or your own face in the mirror? What if you did the radical choice of telling yourself you love yourself in the mirror every single day? By doing that, you're completely reprogramming everything that you know about yourself and change the frequency of how you show up in the world as well. It's up to you, and my question to you is, what are you going to choose? Who do you want to be in the world? What are the things you're going to express, consume, limit consuming? What practices will you implement every day, whether that's a 5-minute meditation or a 3-minute dance practice every day, to, in a wordless way, come back into the remembering who you are? Or perhaps adding some wordful rituals like journaling. One of the most powerful practices you can possibly do is each day before you go to bed, think about 3 things that you are grateful for and write them down. That portal of consciousness right before we go to bed, right before we fall asleep, is a really powerful program that tends to impact how we show up the next day and how we feel the next day. So what if every night you do that? You finish with gratitude and just witness how differently you will feel when you wake up in the morning. What if, as my friend Rebecca has said on my podcast, what if universe is a treasure map and every day you walk around with your heart open, seeing what you're there to learn, seeing what opportunities are meant to be expressed through you, how you can powerfully receive and at the same time give and be this co-creator and active participant in the universe instead of someone who just kind of survives and waits until things are in a certain place in your life, your career, your personal relationship with your body. What if all those things are relevant and you are the full version of you right now in this moment without anything at all changing around you or within you? Remembering that the most important world and the most important adventures that matter are the ones that happen within, are the ones that are hard to put into words, are the ones that most people wouldn't really understand most likely. And what happens on the outside, whether that's in this 3D reality or in digital reality on your social media feed, those can all be just beautiful play and beautiful art created from what's within. So how can you honor that alchemy, that adventure, that art that is constantly occurring inside of you? How can you notice, give it an extra breath, forgive yourself for any places where you've judged yourself or rushed yourself, and truly step into this new beginning with an open heart as a powerful and intentional creator and a playful being that is full of wonder, that is full of trust, and that remembers that there's nothing to chase, there's nothing to achieve. It's about how much presence you can bring in this very moment in each situation and each relationship. When we do that, life becomes so playful, so fun, and the smallest interactions at grocery stores and the post office become full of miracles. So may you be present for the miracles that are starting to unfold in your life right now. Thank you for sharing this space with me. Thank you, Mama Cacao, for holding the space, for being the beautiful plant ally that has guided me for so long now. And I'll see you next time. I have a little bit of cacao left, so I'm giving you